This Bucks team looks a lot different than they did when you beat them twice in week 2. Obviously, just won the cup. What stands out about just the way they're playing right now?
They're just flowing, getting into it. I mean, when you have a veteran team, it takes time. Excuse me. Okay, I lost my voice, so bear with me. It takes time, you know what I mean? Like, you're getting into it, getting the flow. Same thing happened with us when I was in Utah. Like, you know, we're not going to be the same team. They're getting in the shape, they're getting chemistry, building things. Giannis and Dame have been phenomenal. Chris Middleton coming back. Torian Prince has upped his shooting. So they got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. Jackson's been really playing really well defensively. So for us, we got to continue to do what we do. We didn't play all too well. I feel like when we played them earlier, I think we've played better basketball since then. So they've played better, we've played better. So it's a matter of, when it comes to, keep doing what we do.
You start the season, a lot of talk about just like proving yourself, right? And then you start the season so hot, you're 15-0, and then it's like, all right, can we sustain it? And now you're looking at it, and you guys have sustained it, right? Do you feel like you're finally getting, I guess, like the respect, the recognition that you deserve?
I don't think we. I mean, it's just how nature of the beast. I say this all the time. Like, we haven't accomplished anything. Like, you know, we don't want a trophy for going 15-0 or starting out 22-4. Like, we have to do something in the playoffs. So we could do all this and be great in the regular season, but if we don't show up in the playoffs, all this is just grading away. So I think people respect us, but I don't think we get the respect necessarily deserve because we haven't accomplished, as a group, we haven't accomplished, you know, anything, you know, to be completely honest. So I mean, that's our continue to climb. And I don't think we get upset. I don't get upset because, like, at the end of the day, you're judged on wins in the playoffs, you're judged on championships. I said that to y'all since I've gotten here. So at the end of the day, we got to go out there and prove it in April, May, June.
Does it also give you something every game, like you feel like you've got to prove yourself?
I mean, it's a fine line. I don't feel like you got to always prove yourself. At the end of the day, you got to be like, all right, this is who we are, and make that statement. But you got to be committed to that every day, 1 through 15. And I think that's ultimately what this group is. You know, every day going like, oh, you were wrong, you were wrong. I don't think it's that energy. I think it's more so like, okay, this is who we are, this is who I can be as individuals and as a team, and how do we continue to get to the next level. And once we accomplish that together, all the other stuff, the respect and all that will naturally come with it.
Do you view Milwaukee a different kind of way now that they won the NBA Cup?
I mean, I looked at them differently from before that. You know, they won like 6 in a row, something like 7 in a row. Like, they've been playing better basketball. And that's, like I said, when you have veteran teams, you build up. You know, you know how it is. So judging them on how things started, it's not, to be honest, he's an NBA champion, MVP, Damian Lillard's top 75 player. Like, you can't just write him off up, you know what I mean, because of a bad November, October, whatever it was. So I don't view them any different. I know there's still a big threat in the East, big threats for us. We got to be on our A game tomorrow. We got to be ready to go. And now that they won the NBA Cup, they got a championship under their belt, you know, another one. But for us, continuing to do what we do, but they're going to be ready, we're going to be ready.
Max has said that he's itching to get back. Have you sensed that within him during this 9 week?
You can tell, right? It's been bad. Sorry, I've been playing Call of Duty with these kids and screaming at them and stuff, so that's where the voice goes. I don't know if y'all saw my tweet the other day. It's been rough. It's been a rough Call of Duty lobby.
You and Max. Max said he's terrible at video games.
Yeah, no, he doesn't play. I genuinely try to get better, which makes me even more upset. I watch film on my phone on TikTok, and I'm still terrible. So we'll see. As you can tell, I've put a lot of effort into Call of Duty. But to answer your question, yeah, I can tell Max. You know, just from seeing him, his work ethic, but also just trying to be around. You know, especially when he was hurt, he couldn't really do much on the floor, but he's always around. You know, it's kind of like that guy's just there. You know, but like with us, with him, it's not awkward. It's like he's just one of us. Like, he's in there. He's part of the chemistry, part of the camaraderie. But you definitely notice it, and I'm glad that he's back. And he's worked so hard, man, to get to this point. So I'm glad that he's back.
If you broke down your own film of your Call of Duty, like, how would you assess your game?
It depends on the day. You know, some days I'm a Navy SEAL. Some days I'm a regular citizen that's probably got thrown into war and gets freaked out. You know what I'm saying? So it really depends. Most days with my group, I'm in a good damage range. You know, I'm not going to say how many kills I get, but I feel like Call of Duty looks at me and is like, you know, I play well, and then it's like, all right, the guys that do this for a living go play with Donovan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's necessarily fair. the guys are jumping and sliding, moving back and forth, and I can't really do all that. So, you know what I mean? So it's tough. I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. People on Twitter, confirmed what I was feeling, so I felt better. So yeah, I mean, I reached out to Call of Duty. I'm gonna do it again. Just be like, hey, like put me in the trash lobbies because that's where I belong, and we'll see what happens.
You guys were 20th in defense in November. In December, you're back up in the top 5. I think you're at 4th right now. What's changed that you've seen on that?
Like I said, I think, I don't know if you asked me that. Somebody asked me early in the season, like, am I worried, with our defense numbers kind of going up and down? I think when you're trying new things and you're starting to learn new same defense, but also new defenses, you're trying to figure things out. There's going to be some slippage. There's going to be some things you have to really figure out, and I think you're starting to see us understand it, communicate it, us and the staff figuring out together. And there's still room to grow. I think we lead the league in switches, something like that. So that's something we've never done since I've been here. Getting used to that. Who's the low man? Evan and Jay are not closing on perimeter. We got to rebound. We got to do all these different things, and you're starting to see that start to play out and have guys have a better understanding. The point of attack defense has been good. Different things, where we're hedging, with different things. You're starting to see the coverages start to come together, and we're starting to understand it.
As far as the switches go, Kenny mentioned that he prefers switching up as opposed to switching back or to the side and kind of shocking the ball handler. How different is that compared to what you've done in the past?
I mean, it can be, when you switch, a lot of teams are scared of it or stay away from it because it can be it can lead to laziness. I can be like, all right, bet, switch. You got a guy like Damian Lillard who stops right behind and shoots it. You got to continually be physical, and it's tough. It's not easy. Boston has been better than Houston when I was in Utah. They were phenomenal at it with James Harden and those guys. Continue to be physical and making the ref have to make the call on a consistent basis. That's ultimately what they did to me when I was in Utah with the Clippers when Kenny was over there. It takes you out of your rhythm when you have to take a step back and then re-attack. It buys the defense time to switch, get back into position, and reload. So it definitely is something that I think is key, especially when you're switching because it can breathe late. You can kind of concede into it and be lazy and point and all that. But when you're continuing to be physical, you have to be locked in and engaged.
What will this team miss with Isaac out for the next couple of weeks?
Just that defense. His aggressiveness, especially look at the last time we played these guys. Dame had some good nights, but it was physical. I think that's the biggest thing. So with Isaac being out, we have to continue to take our physicality to another level. And then you're also missing the second, best three-point shooter in the league. I say that jokingly, but not jokingly. I'm also dead serious. He's a guy that knocking down shots and teams want to leave him. So you obviously miss him on the defensive end, but offensively he's been playing phenomenally for us. So for us, it's next man up, be ready, and then when he comes back, jump right in.
Ask you about Sam again. Obviously, his three-point percentage is a little down, but he's doing a bunch of other stuff. Do you think he's rushing it all on the threes, or is it just indecision? Because Kenny talked about fatigue, maybe, because he's been playing so many minutes.
I think Sam is, this is a different year for him. He's been playing phenomenally defensively. Yeah. He's been rebounding. He's been cutting. He's been moving. We're playing faster. So there's a lot of things, but I'm not really worried about him and his shot. Him and I sit next to each other on the plane. I talk to him all the time. When I'm going through a slump, he's the same thing with him. So for me, when I told him this, I said, look, the crazy part is last year, if you were shooting like this, it would lead to losses. You know what I'm saying? So look at this as time to figure out, all right, what's going on? Am I fatigued? I don't think he is. If he's fatigued, do I do more sprints? And yeah, but figuring whatever it is. Am I overthinking it? Taking this time to figure it out, because ultimately he's gonna find it. He's been doing this his whole life. We're not worried. I'm not worried. And then when he finds it, look out. That's what I told him. Don't even. If we were 4-22, I'd be all right, come on, bro. You know what I mean? But we're good. Breathe a little bit, let it come to you, and naturally. And he's a guy that I have no doubt continue. But he's doing so many other things at a very high level. So I think that's something that we respect, and we respect his process. He's a guy that's here always early as well. So you see, he's still here. He was shooting before. He's shooting after. He's not going to stop. So I have no worry about Sam Merrill and his shot coming. But he's doing everything else on the floor, which is him being selfless, which we all respect.